People depend on forests for essential ecosystem services like water, clean air, storage of carbon to reduce the amount of carbon we have in the atmosphere. But over the last 2 decades, there's been a widespread outbreak of spruce beetles across forests in Colorado, killing an estimated 1.7 million acres of forest. Spruce beetle outbreaks have been happening for centuries and centuries, but recent outbreaks have been likely caused by 2 factors: warming temperatures and dry conditions.
Warm temperatures tend to favor more rapid development of bark beetles, which inherently leads to greater growth of populations. And when we start to have really dry conditions, we know that trees actually are a little bit stressed. And this means that the trees are no longer able to physically expel beetles or produce the compounds that are toxic to beetles that trees typically use to defend themselves. The first telltale sign that a tree is being attacked by a spruce beetle is you'll see these spheres almost of sap or pitch. And those are spots where the beetle is trying to bore into the tree and the tree is trying to physically expel it with that sap. So what we're doing is we're looking at this tree, trying to confirm that spruce beetle actually was present in the tree and that's what killed the tree. So usually we can do that by pulling off the bark and looking at those inner tissues in the cambium, and that's where we can see the beetle galleries, and that tells us that yes, indeed, there was spruce beetle in the tree.
So here we see evidence of the entry holes from the spruce beetles that have attacked this tree. And we see evidence of spruce beetle galleries.
Under normal conditions, the spruce beetle typically is attacking weakened or dying trees. What's novel about the current conditions is that we're seeing broad-scale, massive periods of outbreak where trees are being killed across broad extents and lots of trees within one stand are being affected. And we're also noticing that in addition to how severe and widespread the outbreak is, that we're seeing lower rates of tree regeneration following outbreak than we might expect.
Subalpine fir, height class 1, heavily browsed.
And so some of the work we're working on now is really trying to figure out where we're seeing these low rates of forest recovery. And that's important so we can get an idea for what our future forests will look like.
So we think it's important to monitor these areas, to assess the vulnerability of this forest and to understand areas that may convert from forested areas to non-forested areas. We expect that really dry areas in combination with warming temperatures and increasing moisture deficits are likely more vulnerable to change from forest to non-forest, and this will lead to a loss of these ecosystem services.
We get lots of benefits just from recreating in these beautiful subalpine forests. People come from all over the world to Colorado to ski and to hike, and so any changes in what the forests look like will affect our economies as well. Understanding how our subalpine forests function under current conditions is really critical to understanding how they're going to respond to future climate change. And I think ultimately we as humans just benefit from a better idea of how our ecosystems work because we gain so much from them.